This week I went to Billesley Tennis Centre in Birmingham to visit one of their coaches, Joe. Joe is an LTA Level 4 coach, and he contacted me recently to ask if I'd come to his tennis centre to do what he called a Coach's MOT. For those of you outside the UK, MOT stands for Ministry of Transport and is the term used to describe the mandatory road safety checks which are required for cars to ensure they are fit and safe to drive on the roads. I love the fact that as a well-qualified and experienced coach, Joe still sees the need to get outside support and help for his coaching, to ensure that he doesn't slip into any bad habits and to help him stay on track with his personal coaching goals. In particular, he wanted feedback on his use of effective questions and on how he applied relevant tactical information to the lesson. I arrived at the tennis centre to talk to Joe before his lesson with Ian, a regular club standard competitive tennis player. I asked Joe to tell me what he wanted me to offer feedback on and how he wanted me to be during the lesson. The lesson was on the approach and finishing volley. Joe started with a warm-up, followed by some points to observe and analyse Ian's approach and net game. During the lesson, I made notes on the points Joe wanted feedback on and listened in on some of the discussions between Joe and Ian. At the end of the lesson, I then asked Ian how he felt about the lesson and Joe's coaching. It's always useful to get the thoughts of the player, who's after all the customer, to check their level of understanding on the key points from the lesson and also their level of satisfaction with Joe's coaching. Once the lesson was finished, we debriefed. I listened to Joe's thoughts on the lesson and especially on his goals, and I shared my thoughts and feedback on a few areas I felt he could develop further. I really admire Joe for his openness and vulnerability in asking for a coach's MOT. He is, after all, well qualified and experienced, and he didn't need to do it. I'd recommend that any coach should ask occasionally for a second opinion from a fellow professional or from a trained educator or tutor. It's a great way to keep learning and to stay curious and focused on self-improvement.